everyone. This is Karen from Lavender Clothesline. It's been a little while since I've made a haul video. As many of you know, I was down in Florida having dental implant surgery, which was about a week ago. So just a disclaimer, my speech is still adjusting and I will try to get through this whole video. I've missed talking about my finds. So if you're new to my channel, like I said, my name is Karen. Welcome. Please hit the like and subscribe button so I can continue to bring more videos, and let me know what kind of videos you may be interested in. I know a lot of you have asked for shipping videos, which up to date, I think I've done about 4 or 5, maybe a few more. I will continue to do shipping videos. I think I might do an all-in shipping video. So going from a lightweight package all the way up to something crazy, breakable, big, and talk about my experiences with shipping. As of late, I'm switching from shipping my big items to FedEx. I was using USPS, but it's been a bit of a challenge with their new rate increases. So because I have to drive about 13 to 15 minutes from my house for FedEx, I have a tendency to stay away from as many big items as I normally pick up. So thanks so much for following. And today's video is the rest of the hard goods, which means pretty much anything other than clothing, that I left off from last time before I went to Florida. And as you can see, I have a rack of clothing I want to talk about of why I'm picking up this type of clothing. So like I said, welcome, get yourself a cup of tea, and let's get through this haul together. Okay, so the first item that I'm going to talk about are these blankets. Now I picked up 3 of them. They're all the same. 1, 2, 3. I'll put 2 to the side so we can talk about them. These blankets caught my attention for 2 reasons. Number 1, we're really coming into sports stadium time in the cooler weather, and I think the sale of throw blankets that people look to bring to the stadium or for outdoor activities in the cooler weather will increase. The sales will increase. So these blankets caught my eye because there's an embroidered area here, which I don't know if you can see or not. Let's see if I can capture that. Probably not. But the embroidery says Goldman Sachs. So the minute I saw that embroidery, I was like, yes, I will take a look at these. And then when I turned it inside out, let me see if I can find this label. There we are. It had a vintage, I believe this is a vintage label, but these are unused blankets. And this is Faribault, Faribault. That's a Mills company. Now the blankets are acrylic, but they have that wool look to them, and they have a fringe to them. So I thought the colorway in this red, white, and blue was great, very classic, almost Ralph Lauren-esque, but it's not Ralph Lauren. And I thought yes to these. I did already list all 3 together. Sometimes I will list things like this separately, sometimes I'll do quantity. In this case, because I'm still recovering from my dental implant surgery, I'm going a little bit easier on myself. I made 1 listing for all 3, and they are in my eBay store. So for the 3 of them, I paid $250. Did I pay $250? No, they charged me $250 for all 3. I think that might have been a mistake, but I wasn't going to argue if that's what they wanted to charge me. I believe these came from a mom and pop thrift store. So there's these 3 throw blankets, and yeah, they're in beautiful condition. So yes to vintage throw blankets that you think you can market for outdoor stadium usage, especially. The next item that I picked up, this is probably 2 to 3 weeks ago. It is listed, and I'm just talking about it now, is a Tommy Hilfiger. Does it say Tommy Hilfiger? I thought it did in bigger. I think it's the pillow inside. The buttons say Tommy Hilfiger, and it's got a little logo tag there. This is a bedroll with attached pillow. The pillow does come off with buttons, and this can be used for the beach, camping, just a child's mat on the floor. It's got a great Hawaiian print. You know what? I'm gonna actually unroll this for you so you can see how pretty it is. Just looking out the window, Bob's picking up my mail, which is great. Okay, let's see what goes on with these. So this has straps. And this unrolls. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so we will show you the reverse side, which is a red, solid red, and there is the pillow that buttons off. Here's the big Tommy Hilfiger. So yes to Tommy Hilfiger. I'm not sure if this is vintage. I think it might be vintage, meaning late 80s, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember if I put vintage in my title. I might have if I found very similar ones. When I research and only one item has a vintage marking, I'm a little bit careful of whether I call mine vintage or not. So I'm gonna open this up, which I failed to do before, to see if there's some kind of date on this. I don't see a date. You know what, it's got some more little prints, so let me put my glasses on. Okay, no date. No, it has the size. Oh, there's another tag. Bear with me. No, again, no date. Huh. I did Google it, but I'm not seeing anything that would indicate if this is truly vintage. So when I'm not entirely positive if something is vintage, I either put vintage with a question mark and disclose in the item's description that I'm unsure of the date, or I just leave that out. So yes to Tommy Hilfiger in beautiful Hawaiian prints. The next item I picked up, I have no knowledge about. It is a leather covered bottle, a decanter, great for barware. It does have green glass on the inside and leather on the outside, with the little press-in ball top. The leather has a lion crest. See if you guys can see that. Fleur-de-lis on 3 sides. The thing that made me pick this up was that it was made in Italy. No, I'm not saying that for sure at the time of purchase. I knew it wasn't something from TJ Maxx or, or the like. But to me, when I see made in Italy, that warrants me putting it in my cart at the thrift store. I didn't get it from TJ Maxx, to be able to do further research on it. If I'm going to pay $2 on an item and I'm a little bit unsure, or I don't want to research every item, if it has made in Italy, somewhere in Europe, most likely I will take a chance on it. It turns out these exact bottles have sold and they are vintage, so this was a great score and it's in great condition. I do take the stopper off and give a sniff to see if there's any residue of something really funky in there, because sometimes that's hard to get out. And with a leather outer covering, to wash it over and over again might stain the leather, even though the leather's on the outside. So I said yes to a leather covered bottle that turns out to be vintage from Italy. All right. This next item is a beautiful, it's like a diamond print or textured metallic gold evening bag. And when I opened it, it has the shoulder strap, beautiful condition. Something like this that I really like. If it turns out it's a nothing, then I will keep this for myself. I do have an evening social life, so I would keep this little bag. But as it turns out, when I opened the bag and looked inside, it had a branding, and you know me, I'm all about if something is quality made, to me branding will be there. I have never seen a company that has very high-end product or even just good quality product and it's not branded. I don't think in my 6 years of selling and my 59 years of buying have I ever seen that. So when I opened the bag, it did have branding, which is great. The lining is branded, and we have the logo button on the outside, and my trusty magnifying glass, even with the glasses at this age. It looks like Carver's, or this might be C-A-W-E-R-S, Cowers. So yes to beautiful evening bags that are branded well and made beautifully. Now, I'm not saying this is a high dollar retail. This might only bring $15, but when you can buy at a price point of $2 or $3 and the item is really nice and you feel the holidays are coming, I go ahead and purchase that. The majority of my items, I want the sell-through price to be at least $30, $35. Not to say I never pick up less expensive items. I do. I won't leave this sitting on the shelf if I feel I can flip this. So that's why I said yes to this pretty bag. All All right, what shall we talk about? Let's talk about my favorite find of that haul was this gorgeous leather, brand new briefcase. This thing caught my attention from 10 feet away. It was just sitting there minding its own business. And I was like, what in the world? Why isn't somebody grabbing this? Robert Myers is a high-end designer brand of leather goods. I don't know if Robert Myers, if I'm saying that right, is M-Y-E-R-S, makes other items. I didn't research that far. I just know these bags, brand new, go for about the $650 to $800 mark. Mine does have a little bit of some wear right here. It's not even wear, it's just color loss. And I saw a little bit on the piping here. Let me turn this around for you guys. Can you see that right there? But yes, thank you. $10 I paid for it. I don't remember what I listed this for. I'm gonna say probably between $300 and $400. So I will report back on my Instagram when it sells. So for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, why not? Go over there and follow me. So over on my Instagram, you can find items of what I sold them for, and also I do giveaways, and I just talk about my general reselling life. So great bag. Okay, so I have my mailman Bob pulling up to get my packages, and I might have to stop, we shall see. Hold on a second. Okay, we are back. We just had Bob picking up the packages. So thank you, Bob, I appreciate it. And on the table left, we only have 3 more items. I'm gonna pull the table back a little bit, see if I can stand back. I have these 2 mugs. Now, when I see a dry bottom, I'm gonna call it, I feel that the mugs or the cups or the dishes deserve a second look. What I mean is the bottom is not glazed. So these cups my daughter Lisa actually found when she had come for a visit in the thrift store. And I'm gonna put on my glasses once again to see what the maker or the potter, who the potter company is. And this was Dineen Pottery, I believe. Let me get the magnifying glass. Guys, this magnifying glass is wonderful. Even if you don't need readers, you're not at that age, if you find a magnifying glass at the thrift store, absolutely, because sometimes the printing on dishes or labels or whatever, you really need to make it bigger. Yes, so this is D-E-N-E-E-N Pottery, St. Paul, Minnesota. And these mugs, I think, are commissioned by this pottery house or this studio for people that have restaurants, you know, different landmarks that want to sell these mugs in their, I'm guessing, gift store. So this is the Peter Shields Inn, Cape May, New Jersey. So I got 2 of these mugs. These cost me $1.97 a piece. I bought both, and I couldn't tell you what I have them listed for. I'm gonna guess, oh, don't quote me on this, 30 to 40 maybe. I'll have to check on that. And the last little vase that I scooped up is a painted vase. And on the bottom, it said made in Sweden. Right away it has our attention. This is dry finish on the outside and a glaze on the inside. The glaze on the inside does have a little bit of crazing. Crazing is a crosshatch patterned cracking in the glaze, if all of that makes sense. So you want to always examine dishes for crazing or cracking. And the bottom, like I said, is made in Sweden. And this is Gabriel, G-A-B-R-I-E-L. That is the maker's or designer's last name. I'm trying to remember his first name. I'll put it on the screen if I think of it. It's not Peter Gabriel. I don't know who it is. I can't remember what his first name is, but he's famous. You'll find him, and these little pots bring nice money for what you pay for them. A lot of times this will be on a thrift store shelf, and there'll be a couple of dollars, and you can usually get upwards of 25 or more for these little vases. So yes, to little pottery vases made in Sweden by Gabriel. All right, so now a commercial break. I'm asking everybody to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so I can continue to grow my channel. But for now, we're gonna jump into the clothing in back of me. Like you guys know, I'm in central Pennsylvania. I don't find a lot of high-end brand names. Once in a while, a Burberry or a Chanel, once in a great while, but in my 6 years, most of it is bread and butter. So I'm gonna go through this rack of clothing. I hope you guys can still understand my speech. I'm a little bit garbled, a little bit slurry, but as I speak more and more, it'll get clearer. So I'm looking forward to that because you know me, I'm chatty. All right. So this haul was part of a clothing haul that I picked up before I went to Florida. It is all listed, but I pulled it back out to talk about what clothing catches my attention and why I'm picking it up. So I'm going to start from the left and just go to the right, and we'll just blow through it quickly. So the first two tops are Sundance. Sundance is a catalog. I almost always say yes to Sundance. If you don't know Sundance company, you can comp them, Google them, and learn about them. Two tops, both in medium. Looks like the same owner donated them. Very ruched. This is a beautiful swag ruching. And in this store, I pay $4.95 for a top. And Sundance will bring good money. Now, having said that, Sundance, in my opinion, does better in the larger sizes. But Sundance in itself brings attention, so that's why I pick it up. Again, another Sundance. This is just beautiful. I might actually, I might wear this once or twice. No, it's already listed, but you never know. I might take it down. Recently, I did steal something out of my store. What was it? Which is so rare for me. Oh, it was face cream. I ran out of face cream and I had some Estee Lauder, so I just grabbed that and delisted it. So Sundance medium. It's a beautiful plum, dusty plum with a lace trim. So again, yes to Sundance. I'm gonna pull this around here. Oh, I found a lot of Sundance. I actually found two of these, one in a lighter pink. This is a 100% silk tunic top or a peasant top. The reason that I picked this up was a couple. The first thing being Sundance. The second was the embroidery. This is all embroidered. I love this blouse. So absolutely yes to this. If I'm not mistaken, I have this listed probably for $50. Just beautiful. And the light pink one just blew out of my store, I think within hours. So Sundance, again, is a very visited name. All right, let's get organized. This blouse is just an LRL. It's Lauren Jeans, Ralph Lauren, and I like these kind of prints. These won't bring a high dollar amount in my opinion. It might take a little bit longer to sell, but I do well with this type of top. I'm gonna say this will bring $22 to $25, and again, I pay about the $5 mark. So it's so pretty. I say yes to floral type button down shirts. You know what, I'm gonna jump to this one. Another Sundance, medium. I think I found quite a few Sundances. I'm gonna say 10 to 12 of them that day. I was in the thrift store, I found the first one, and then a couple down, I found the second one. That's when I bury in and think, okay, there might be more of these. And true enough, I think altogether it was 12 of them I found. Some of them have sold already. So I will try to find those pictures and put them on the screen. This is a burnout. Burnout is when the velvet is interspaced with a sheer. So if you can see that, you would really need to wear something underneath this, a little cami. Just gorgeous. Maybe I should wear this in a video. I love this style. So yes to Sundance, yes to burnout velvet, beautiful romantic. Romantic so is the key word, and yes. So the next few items that I want to talk about are embellished items. Items that are highly embellished always get my attention. So we are talking sequins, jewels, pearls. Pearl sweaters are big. If you find a cardigan, even a pullover sweater, better yet if it's from the 80s or the 90s, and there's a massive amount of pearls going on, I always buy those. Those always fly out of my store. Embellished tops, in my opinion, sweaters, jackets don't have to be a high-end name. I mean, I don't know that I would pick up one that's like Alfred Dunner, sorry Alfred, or other names like that. But if they're even regular mall brands and they have a lot of busyness, a lot of craziness going on, if it's done well, yes, I always pick those up. So the next few pieces are why I picked these up, because solely of the embellishment. I don't think I've shown this one before. This is a jean jacket. It's just Chico's design. Don't mind it looks a little wrinkly, I washed it. I might have shown this in another haul. I don't think so. I have a lot of jean jackets, but look at the embroidery, applique work. Somebody's gonna want this. I think this is stunning. So I said yes to this. Following the embroidery theme, I think I showed this one on Instagram. This is just a denim shirt put out by, it's Bob Mackie, Wearable Art. When I first started selling 6 years ago, Bob Mackie Wearable Art was more of a thing, in my opinion, than it is now. It's dying down, it's cooled a little bit, but I'm convinced somebody's gonna want this denim shirt. It's embroidered with carnations, very well done. Gold buttons, really, really nice detail. So I said yes to this, it's fitted. And the next three are vintage pieces. This very ornate, sparkly evening cocktail beaded dress. Now when I look at these, I judge these type of dresses one by one, solely on its own merit. I don't just look at a tag and say, oh, this is Erica Lewis, let me get that. I go by how the design is laid out on the item, the colorway, the condition, the size, take that all into account. Some of them are just plain ugly, in my opinion, okay? There's a strong statement. Some of these dresses are just hideous and, in my opinion, not very nice. This one's 100% silk. I love that it has the mesh. There's a name for this, the mesh. I don't know what this is called, but it's a see-through mesh along the yoke. And I said yes to this dress. I believe this would probably be 80s, maybe early 90s, but yes to this for the beautiful work. This next one is Lawrence Kazar, or Kazar. I love this. Now, this one would do better in a larger size. This one is only an extra large. If this was a 3X, I think this would blow out of my store. This one I will probably have a little bit longer. Most of the items that are made like this, the dresses, the tops, the jackets, a lot of times they are 100% silk. So always make sure to check your lining because silk stains easily underneath the underarms and just from body moisture. So you want to do a quick inside out turn for these type of things. Really check it. A lot of times the jackets will have discoloration, whether it's been dry cleaned or not. The armpits will turn like a funky purple from, I guess, the acid in perspiration will actually turn the silk a different color. So you really want to look at the inside, the lining of these items. Most of them will have shoulder pads because it is, I'm going to say, a 90s design, but this is beautiful. This is listed, I probably put peacock, which if I didn't after this video, I'm gonna check that I did. So very pretty, very well done. The beads are all in great condition. And I said yes to this. The last one is Draper and Damon's, is that right? Drapers and Damon's, again, a size medium. These might have all come out of the same closet. It is a silver metallic sequin, very shiny. To me, this could almost come off a little bit Western for the way that it's laid out. And I thought this was great. It's a jacket, again, 100% silk. So I said yes to this. With the holidays coming, you'll be surprised of how many of these items do sell. So if you have the item priced correctly, which mine are usually a little bit high, so it takes a little bit longer, I say yes to these type of items. All right, guys, I think think that is it for today for this haul. Thank you so much for joining into my craziness. I'm really looking forward to bringing a few different types of videos. I have one more wrap-up video if you're interested in the dental implant surgery journey I am on, so I will keep those videos separate. I'm going to be doing a separate video on my YouTube growth, how I went from not even thinking of having a channel to where I am now 3 months later, how it grew so quickly, or my impressions of how it grew quickly. And as always, I will always bring you videos of my hauls, what's selling, crazy finds, shipping. Thank you so much for your subscribing and following and liking. And as always, go out and get what's yours. Bye guys.